Hey, what's going on, guys? Gamerdude back once again with another episode in our Just the Facts series. Today we are discussing something long thought dead and buried, and long thought lost in cybernetic oblivion. I know I've done a video on this before, but more information has just kept cropping up, so I figured, why the hell not? So anyway, let's get on with what I found and discuss what I found regarding Bully 2. So originally, Bully 2 was a planned sequel for the game named Canis Canamedit at the time. Bully only got its full unedited release on the Xbox 360 named Bully Scholarship Edition, which didn't unfortunately make it over to a multi-platform game. It was just on the Xbox 360. So the game was all ready for its sequel, and fans were looking forward to seeing what Rockstar would do with it. However, unfortunately, Rockstar was also working at the time on Red Dead Redemption 1, which put Bully 2 on hold indefinitely as Rockstar pulled their entire team away from any other projects to concentrate on the soon-to-be hit Red Dead Redemption. Rockstar did also lay off some of the staff who would have been part of the Bully 2 team, including Jimmy Hopkins, voice actor, and the game's lead design artist as well. He did also confirm in a tweet that he was abruptly laid off, but more on that in a little bit. So, moving on, of course, the rumour mill has returned. And this time, it's claiming Rockstar Games is indeed working on Bully 2 alongside a new Grand Theft Auto game. As you will all probably know, rumours have been claiming a new Bully is certainly in development and has been on and off for the last couple of years. Well, for the last I think it's almost been a decade now, actually, since Canis Canamedit was released, if not longer. But yeah, here we are now in 2019 with no word whatsoever, as Rockstar Games hasn't said a peep about the series. That said, though, a new rumour is claiming the developer is hard at work on a sequel. And they're even claiming to know a few pertinent details about the project. So, I was browsing the mythical lands of Reddit last week. Yes, I know, you're laughing at me because Reddit, there's no truth to Reddit. But in this case, there is some truth. So if you just bear with me, we'll get into detail on it all in this video. But yeah, I was browsing Reddit last week for information regarding Grand Theft Auto 6, and I came across this article regarding some leaked details on Bully 2. So I figured, why not? We did a Rockstar Games review last week on GTA 6, so we'll do another review this week on Bully 2. So, apparently, players will once again return to play as Jimmy Hopkins in the sequel, who was treated life at boarding school for the college freshman experience. So, the setting we all grew to know and love at Bulworth Academy will or would have changed. As you may or may not know, this mostly lines up with previous leaks and rumours about the game over the last couple of years. So that said, right off the bat, there seems to be a little snag in this, because way back in March, the voice actor of Jimmy Hopkins, Jerry Rosenthal, claimed that while he would love to make a sequel and love to return to the character, Rockstar Games hasn't actually contacted him about such a project. Now, he could be completely bullshitting, sworn to secrecy by Rockstar themselves at threat of being sued or fired. But that does seem quite unlikely. However, it does seem likely and possible he may not even be reprising the role as Jimmy Hopkins in the first place. So, That being said, in the new Bully 2, that's if they make one, Jimmy is most likely older now, so maybe Rockstar Games is opting for a different voice actor or just a different lead character in general. Because I doubt with Grand Theft Auto 6 we're going to see Michael, Franklin, and Trevor return. So it does seem unlikely that if they go that way, Jerry would return. However, it is certainly possible he could give Rockstar, well, he could have given Rockstar, or Rockstar could give it back to him, much like they did with the voice actor for John Marsden for Red Dead Redemption 2, even though he was about 10 years younger. So that said again, you should really take this with a grain of salt or two. Not only does this source really have no track record, because once again, Mythical Lands of Reddit, it's never really factual information on Reddit, but there does seem to be some truth in the claim. According to the Reddit user, they heard all of this from two different sources, one of which happened to be a former Rockstar Games employee, who happened to have been working on the original Bully 2 before it was canned. I did also find a tweet from said employee. For the sake of argument, let's call him Joe. Because, I don't want to cause him to be sued or some shit for revealing information. Anyway, a Twitter user and Reddit user asked Joe some questions regarding Bully 2, and Joe responded in kind. So the Twitter and Reddit user asked Joe the following questions. Did you also work on Bully 2 during your time at Rockstar New England, or do you have any information regarding this game? Joe's response. Since Rockstar never officially acknowledged Bully 2, I definitely can't say one way or another. I definitely can't say that I worked on it for several months before being laid off when the project was cancelled, nor could I talk about the pranks or the climbing system I definitely wasn't working on. The Twitter user then asks, wow, can you please tell me more about the pranks you were working on? Sounds very interesting, thanks for responding. Joe then replies with, I distinctively said I wasn't working on them. Definitely not adding a tripwire prank, which attempted to use the early rope physics for Red Dead Redemption. Nor did I add the ability to do a running dive into a garbage can to hide from people chasing you. Nor did I either add something that would allow you to shimmy around a tree or column to hide and stay out of sight. The Twitter user then responds with, okay, no problem. I feel like you already told me enough, but I have just one more question. Can you give me a little more information on this game? For example, main characters, story, or something like that. Shame it was canned. Joe then responds to the final question with some intriguing information. The non-existent game was definitely not about Jimmy's summer vacation at his mom's new husband's enormous house. There also wasn't a summer camp or town nearby to explore. You also didn't have step-siblings to cope with. So, what this tells us is that this game was most definitely in development, and this former Rockstar employee was and still is ultimately pissed about being laid off as abruptly as he was. So he's using subtle subliminal messages to tell us this was actually a thing, and the game was in at least its pre-alpha stages of development. So the fact that he's actually saying, oh no, don't worry, I wasn't working on this, I didn't do such and such, I didn't make this, is basically saying, I did do this, this was a thing, I did that, I did this. And, he's just having to say, oh, I didn't do it because, Rockstar would get all salty with him. Anyway. Unfortunately, it would seem Rockstar chose to can this project in favour of Red Dead Redemption, which probably, as it turns out, wasn't such a bad call. It's unclear at the moment if Rockstar kept any of the original alpha stage or just allowed it to be lost in cybernetic oblivion. But this does give us hope that the game was and is at least on the drawing board, or they have the base material for it. But bear in mind, this was a draft of a game for the last generation of consoles. So if it was to be released on current or future platforms, I'm guessing it would need to be completely reworked and completely redesigned. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think this is telling us that Rockstar are definitely working on Bully 2? Do you think this tweet from this former Rockstar employee is legit? Do you think he's just taking us for a ride? Or do you think there's some truth to it and he's still just, as I said, ultimately pissed about being laid off? And, is finally deciding to come forward with some information that Rockstar specifically told him not to come forward with. I mean, it would make sense for Rockstar to revisit some of their older games. I mean, when Red Dead Redemption 2 was first announced, it wasn't unexpected, but it was still a big surprise. I mean, it's the same with Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean, we haven't heard anything regarding a Grand Theft Auto 6, just news, rumours, speculations and whatnot. But it's their leading title. It's one of their more popular titles, so they're gonna do it. They've let future titles die and pass away, like State of Emergency on the PS2. That was an amazing Rockstar game. I love that. It took place in a mall, and you were like this gang member, and you were sort of attacked everyone in sight, got guns, and there was gang members in the mall, and you killed them all. And I don't know. It was just basically a giant Grand Theft Auto style rampage in a mall, and it was really quite fun actually. But not to mention there was that whole agent game that we were supposed to get that they just abruptly cancelled. So it's safe to say that even Rockstar's cancelled projects can still linger in the darkness, and there is a potential to get them back. I mean, I for one would love to see a Bully 2 sequel. I mean, I am not for bullying. I do not condone bullying in any way, shape or form, because I was bullied myself in school. However, when it's in a game, it's in a controlled environment. And the way I see it, if parents get offended by it, if parents allow their kids to play this game, then it's not the developer's fault. It's the parents' fault. And if the kids choose to act on some of these things in the game, then again, it's the parents' fault for letting the kid play the goddamn game. Just don't let your kid play the game. If you're getting called into school every other day for your kid bullying someone, then it's your own fault. It's like, oh, my kid threw some marbles down in the hall. Well, it's where else are you going to get that fucking idea from except a bully game? But my point stands anyway, guys. Just let me know what you think. Do you think it's just not going to happen at all? Do you think I'm just over exaggerating? Do you think all this is just complete bullshit? Or do you think there's some truth to it? Yeah, anyway, that's it for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I hope I've expanded your gaming knowledge and given you some details as to the future or potential future of this game. So stay tuned tomorrow, because we will be starting up another game series in place of our Telltale game series until we are able to replace The Walking Dead Season 3, because it appears to have cooked itself and refuses to play on my PlayStation. So don't miss out on that. Shout out to all subscribers, old and new. We are now at 934. We are getting ever so much closer to that 1k milestone, which is an absolutely amazing achievement, and I can't thank you all enough for the continuous love, support and views of my content. If you are new to the channel and enjoyed this video or any of my other content, make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe. I always sub back to new subscribers and view any content you may be producing. So that being said, this has been Just the Facts with Gamerdude. Happy gaming, and I'll catch you all in the next one, guys.